All right, so time for Joy News Interactive. We told you about it. Araba, you take it up.
Oh yes, it's time to get interactive on Joy News Prime. Go ahead, grab your gadgets and join the conversation on our social media platforms. On WhatsApp, the number is 0580 and on Facebook and Twitter, it's at Joy News on TV. Now let's get on to the issues. The Progressive People's Party is asking President Mahama to step down and apologize to Ghanaians for saying he has not taken a bribe during the BBC interview. This comes in the wake of the Ford gift controversy. So, what do you think about the PPP's proposal?
Oh, I think the president was honest during the interview, because you can't say somebody has lied with no evidence. Why? Because if I have been bribed, I'll know, but it's not to be publicized.
Somebody giving him the car as a gift, I mean, it's not a bribe. So for PPP to say that he should step down, I don't agree with it.
For a president to come out and say to the whole world that he doesn't take in bribe, and now taking a bribe for the whole world to see someone giving him a car, wow, it's something, I mean, it's not normal. It's not normal. Something might have happened before him coming out to take the car.
All right, so let's see what you've been saying on Facebook and on WhatsApp. All the messages that have been pouring in, your reactions to some of the stories we put out there. Israel,
right.
What have they been saying?
So I'll take this one on Facebook. George A. Sibuatin says, I share this call. Our president has not been truthful to the good people of Ghana. His double-tongued nature has put Ghana in a world ridicule. He must apologize not only to Ghanaians but the world at large. Millions of viewers of the BBC interview should be rendered an unadulterated apology. John Yak says, he who had not sinned before should first cut the stone. We are all corrupt. Even Akufo-Addo and co are corrupt. The best thing is there has to be a law that will prevent bribery and corruption. No sin, no law. Yakubu says best practice would require that as a head of a sovereign state and as a chief anti-corruption crusader, the president stays clear of gifts from any quarters. The president has massively dented his image. It will only be a huge image booster for him to step down. And you sending this from Wale Wale. Jacob says, in fact, Ghanaian politics are full of fantasies. I bet you Ayaraga and his APC will do better than Papa Indum PPP coming November election law. And John Sarah says, apologize and later punished by the electorate. I agree. But step down, pa dear, no. Step down for Mr. Atta to take over, no way. And Apana says, this nonsense must, is, I'm sure you wanted to put must stop. It's a gift offered to him for his benevolence, and he, the president, decided to accept it. What's the big deal here? Rust says, gift after work done is thanksgiving or appreciation. But gift before work done is bribe or corruption. Churches must stop taking our gifts because it's corruption or bribe. Hypocrites. Now, Commander Sugar Saga vanished after the truth. Now, on to gift. And Dilting says, fingers crossed, my voter's card is in my pocket, waiting for November 7th to roast the dead goat. Oh, wow. What messages do you have on WhatsApp?
Well, still on the issue of this controversy, the Ford vehicle controversy, this one says these PPP people don't know what they are talking about. If the president said he hasn't taken a bribe before, can they prove that he has taken a bribe before? Their party should rather be scrapped, as suggested by Professor Patrice Lumumba when he came to Ghana in 2015. Lumumba suggested that most of these minor parties have nothing to offer, hence unnecessary. I think PPP is one of such parties in Ghana, and this is Bambakia Samed in Fumbisi. Let's take this one. This one says, PPP's demands of the president's apology is baseless. The president's apologies will not change anything. We need attitudinal change rather than apologies, and that's coming from Louise in Boku. Also, Ibn Bawa in Tamale writes, PPP is struggling to find space in our body politics, so let them talk out of free speech. The man laid his mom to rest today. Same day you hold a press conference to spew out insensitivity to the highest peak. So that's coming from Ibn Bawa. He's in Tamale. Awal Chambers says, what is wrong if a president is given a car? Let us not allow people's personal ambitions to tarnish the image of a democracy in the country. If a president is given a car, and so what? Let's give the president peace to work. And that's coming from Awal Chambers. Now, Sunday, June 19 is Father's Day. And obviously, I'm sure that a lot of you have fond memories of your father. What fond memories do you have of your father? These are some of the questions that we ask some people on the streets of Accra.
I remember that one time my mom had a funeral, and then she had to leave us alone, and then my dad was like, whoa, then today I'll be in the kitchen, so all the ladies should go. And then I remember that evening at dinner, the food was so wow.
This happened just 2 years ago, so by God's grace I had done well, and I was about to finish my first degree. And as a birthday gift, I was told to go and it was my sister's birthday. I was told to go and buy her an iPad. So I went to the shop, and all of a sudden I got a call from him, and I confirmed that I bought the gift. Then all of a sudden he told me that, oh, okay, that's good. I just remembered the next day is your birthday. So I'd already bought your sister an iPad. I just wanted you to go and do the work for me. So happy birthday, that's your gift.
My dad is a chef, so I remember those times he used to come back home with food, and it is one of the things I used to remember a lot. Yeah.
He went to visit someone actually, and then during the course of the visit, his car broke down, and so we had to find a place to sleep and all of that. And it was an adventure for me because it had never happened that we had gone out and we didn't have a place to sleep and all of that. So just that's basically, but I think he's a good man, and I hope to have him around for some time.
Interesting comments coming there from some people on the streets of Accra on their fondest memories of their fathers. Now, Israel, what's your fondest memory of your father?
Fondest. I actually remember my dad for one thing. He always kept on telling us about orderliness. It's something I picked up from him, and it has helped me a great deal. So that's one thing I remember so very fondly about my dad. But there's something else I remember about my dad that's not so fond. I remember he whipped me till one day I collapsed.
Interesting. What are people saying about Father's Day on Facebook?
All right, so Wisdom Ayimboho says the late Albert Z.P. Pusega is my dad. He was such a wonderful man, very intelligent and worth mentoring, worth mentioning, and I'm sure you want to add. He has been my major source of inspiration. I'll tell my kids, nephews, and nieces of his goodness. And hashtag RIP Dad. Picture Ghana says, we'll never remember my dad in any way for all the bad things he has done to me and my siblings. Oh, really? All irresponsible dads don't deserve anything good from their children. Fire burn them all. Oh, Charlie, this guy is not taking it.
That's
and
serious.
John Yag says, at the beginning, I used to call my father my name rather than Da or Daddy. And he didn't care if I called him Da or by my name because he used to beat me anyhow without allowing me to talk. And now by God's grace he has passed. Oh no. He said he has passed away. My mother still lives. Oh no, you're not happy your dad is dead. Please. John Paul says, my fondest memories with my dad was when I threw a broomstick on campus hurting someone, thrown a stone which almost damaged a lady's eyes. She didn't perform my house chores, and last but not least came home at 6 p.m. instead of 2:30 p.m. I hope you have already suggested what happened to me that day. It was like hell for me, really. I really regretted that day. Stephen says, I call anyone who is able to give me the services of my father. I best remember my father those days. He used to carry me around anytime it rains. May he rest in peace. And Kojo POR says, when my dad helps me to do my homework, and after that we play football. Fathers are men who smile when mothers say I'm pregnant and accept the responsibilities that come with the pregnancy and birth. And Dachene says, I remember when I went to farm with my dad and he gave a portion of his maize farm to weed. It was like, if you don't finish, you're not going home. He waited for me to finish weeding that portion before we went home. Hey, my dad was serious, so R.I.P. Dad. Happy Father's Day. But if you look at the comments that are coming through, it's mixed. There are people who have some fond memories of their dad, and they're pleasant, and there are others too.
Well, not so fond memories.
And they're not very much amused. Some to the extent that they are happy that their father is dead. I mean, seriously,
right.
I think that's.
Let me just read this message from Daniel Ayikwe Niai from Takrade, and he says, all I can recall is that my father is my father, the dopest dope of all fathers.
Oh,
He's
wow.
been my father since the day we met and has been great to our kids. Only God will send a father such as that to me and our kids. Thank you, God, for creating Daniel Ayikwe Ani Eyi. That's from Dan in Takrade.
Let me take a couple more from here. And Samovi says, okay, let me read this one. Nantoma says, the man who was my friend, advisor, takes full responsibilities and always makes me happy. What a father he was to me. May your soul rest in perfect peace. And some movie says, do whatever you like, but don't bring any pregnancy to my house. And then Sally Fuwana says, the father is someone who your mom got married to and gave birth to you. Demde says, happy Father's Day in advance. And Sally Fuwana had concludes and says, I love my father. Well, we're happy that you love your father.
Interesting comments there. Well, I think that for me, my fondest memory of my father is of him sitting all of us down and recounting, how he grew up. And because, he grew up in a poor home, but he was able to make something out, for himself. And so he's always teaching us, the value of working hard, because at the end of the day, you'll get something out of it. So happy Father's Day to you in advance, Dad. Anyway, moving on to other stories. Miss Great Britain 2015 has been stripped of a title after having sex on reality television show Love Island. What do you think are the do's and don'ts for a beauty queen?
For me, I've always believed in equality. The fact that they are beauty queens, they are still humans, and I think they should just have time to live their normal life as they wish to do. I don't think there should be any rule limiting them on the basis of being beauty queens. They are still humans. They are still human. Just that they should do the normal thing that all of us do. But to go to the extent of having sex on set, I don't think that is fair.
Anyone who is caught in the act or anything in that line, they should be just dropped off the competition.
So there's some responses to that story about the beauty queen Miss Great Britain 2015 being stripped of a title for having sex on a reality TV show. Israel, what are some of the responses coming
so Elvis Manson says, some girls feel they lie. Anything posted on Facebook, all they say is, I knew it was coming. I've been monitoring her for some time now. Picture Ghana says, it's a good thing they did. She is a celeb and others look up to her. So for her to do that, she must be punished. Nantoma says, that is good leadership, taking responsibility for offense committed. And I think President Mahama should emulate from this. I rest my case.
What does President Mahama have to do with this?
Okay, so this is where the post, I'm sure Elvis was referring to, I knew it was coming. So Mercedes says, I knew it was coming. And then Elvis Mensah says, some girls feel they lie. Anything posted on Facebook, all they say is, I knew it was coming. I've been monitoring her for some time now. And then Demde says, morally not right. And Mr. Benjamin says, that is a step in the right direction. And Ni Ufuri Tompa says, why, okay, why I thought it's Western civilization. All right. So this is one of the comments on Facebook. Anything on WhatsApp? No,
in fact, it's replete with responses to the question about the PPP, asking President Mahama to,
All right. Well, in that case, that'll be it for the bulletin. My name is Ezra Lai, and I've been co-anchoring with
Araba Kumsen.
Yeah. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com. We have a number of the stories there. You can get to read them into a lot more detail. All right, so until then, we wish you a good night.
Good night.
This is Joy News Prime.